Children, so up to now we have discussed the chapter and different concepts in the chapter. So that is about eggs, and that is the types of reproduction in the animals. So now we are going to the activity part. So we will practice different exercises in the activity part. So that is there will be some questions given in the one section, and we have to write the answers for that questions. And also we will practice some true or false. And also we will practice some fill in the blanks, and also we will practice some fun activities in this activity part. So let us go to the first section in the activity part. So that is, so answer these questions. So children, so answer these questions. So in this section, so they have given some questions. We have to write the answers for these questions. So let us see the first question. So what is the reproduction? So children, what is reproduction? See the answer. The process of producing one's own kind is known as reproduction. So children, already we have discussed it in the beginning of the chapter. So what is reproduction? So every living organism have the capability of giving birth to their own kinds, that is giving birth to their young babies. And these young babies are looking similar to their parents. And these young babies gradually grow into adults, and again they will give birth to their young babies, and they become adults, and again they will give birth to their young ones, and this process continues in the form of a chain. And this capability and this ability of reproduction will help the living organisms to continue to exist on this earth for more years. So if there is no reproduction, that means all the living organisms does not have the capability of reproduction. So all the living organisms does not exist on this earth no more. So this reproduction will prevent every living organisms to continue their race, to continue their species on this earth. So children, so what is reproduction? The process of producing one's own kind is known as reproduction. The process of producing one's own kind is known as reproduction. So every living organism has the capability of producing. That means the capability of giving birth to their own kinds. And the young babies will looking similar to their parents, and these young babies gradually grow into adults, and these adults again reproduce their young babies, and again these young babies grow into adults, and these adults again give birth to their young babies. In this way, this process of reproduction continues, and this reproduction will help the living organism to continue their race and to continue their species on this earth without to become extinct. So if there is no reproduction for all the living organisms, then all the living organisms will become extinct and does not exist no more on the earth. So children, so read the second question. How do birds hatch their eggs? So how do birds hatch their eggs? So children, so already we have discussed in the chapter. So some of the animals will reproduce by giving birth to their young babies, and some of the animals will reproduce by laying eggs. So generally, the birds will reproduce their young babies by laying eggs. So see the answer here. After laying the eggs, the birds sit on them to keep them warm. In the warmth, the embryo in the egg develops into a chick. Later, the chick breaks the hard shell of the egg and comes out. The children, so this is the reason. So and this is the process. How do birds hatch their eggs? So how do birds hatch their eggs? So children, so already we have discussed about the internal structure of the egg. So what does the egg contains inside it? So generally, egg has two types of liquids. That is, one is albumin, and another one is a yellow color liquid, that is yolk. Inside the yolk, there will be a growing body which is called chick. or chicken. So children, so the bird will gives birth to young babies when only we give warmth to their eggs. That means, so if the eggs are keeping warm, the eggs will give birth to their young babies, that is young birds. So that's why after laying the eggs, the birds sit on them to keep them warm. So why? Because they sit on the eggs. So because they have to keep their eggs warm. So if the eggs are keeping warm, so then the embryo present inside the body will develop, and after developing the embryo, after completely development of embryo, so it will comes out by breaking the hard shell of the egg and comes out. So children, so this process of giving eggs to their young babies is called hatching. So this is called hatching. Hatching means, so the process of coming out, that means the process of giving eggs to the birth to the young babies. So the conversion of eggs into young babies, that is young birds, is called hatching. So in this way the birds hatch their eggs. Every bird will hatch their eggs. So children, read the third question. Describe the structure of a bird's egg with your diagram. So let us see the picture. So children, you are observing the structure of the egg here. So what are you observing inside the egg here? So first you have observing a black color outline. So what is that black color outline represents? So this black color outline represents a shell which is a hard shell. And again, what are you observing inside the shell? So inside the shell, so there is a colorless liquid. So children, observe carefully. So generally we will observe a colorless liquid. So colorless liquid in the egg. So what is that colorless liquid is called? That colorless liquid is called albumin. And again, you will observe a yellow color liquid inside the albumin. So children, you are observing a round shaped liquid, so which is in yellow color. So this yellow color liquid present in the albumin is called yolk. And inside the yolk, you are observing a small body, a small growing body, which is called embryo. So children, so this is the small growing bird, which is called embryo. So children, read the answer. A bird's egg has hard outer shell. So what is the hard outer shell? So here the black color outline represents a hard outer shell. And inside the shell there is a sticky liquid called albumin. So inside the shell we will observe a colorless sticky liquid which is called albumin. And next, inside it there is an yellow liquid called yolk. So children, inside that sticky liquid, that is inside the albumin, you will observe an yellow color liquid. So inside the yolk is growing chick called embryo. So this yellow colored liquid is called yolk, and inside the yolk you are observing a growing chick, that is a small body which is called embryo. So if you give warmth to this egg, that means if you keep this egg warm, then the embryo will fully develop, and this embryo will be developed into chicken. And after completing, that is after the fully development of the chicken, it will comes out by breaking this hard shell. So this process is called hatching. Already we have discussed it in the second question. So what is this process is called? This process is called hatching. So children, see the next question. So that is the fourth question. So read the question. Describe the stages in the life cycle of a frog. So describe the stages in the life cycle of a frog. So children, read the answer. So here, so there are given 5 points in this answer. So let us read the first point. A frog lays its eggs in water. And the second point is the eggs of a frog are called span. And the third one is the young one of a frog that comes out of the egg is called a tadpole. And the fourth point is tadpole resembles a fish. It has a tail. The hind legs and the front legs appear later. And see the fifth point. Slowly the tail disappears and it becomes an adult. So children, so these are the stages in the life cycle of a frog. So first the frog lays a number of eggs on the surface or inside the water. So generally the frog lays a number of eggs inside the water. Children, so look at the picture you are observing. So that is the one, this is the stage 1, this is the stage 2, and this is stage 3, stage 4 and stage 5. So finally total there are 5 stages in the life cycle of frog. So what is the stage 1? That is a span. What is the span? So the first, the frog lays a number of eggs inside the water. So what are these? So this black color dots represents the eggs of the frog. So next, what is the second stage? So children, so here you are observing a small young frogs which are come out of these eggs. So after a few days, these eggs will give out a small young frogs, so which are called tadpoles. So the second stage frog is called tadpole, and it is a small young frog and which is looking like a fish. Because children, so observe the picture. So you are observing the tail. So the small frog will have tail, and this stage is called tadpole. So these are called tadpole. That means the small frogs. And after a few days, children, observe the third stage here. So after the second stage, you are observing this is called a tadpole. That is early stage of tadpole. And see the fourth one. So children, here gradually you will observe the hind legs first. So the hind legs will be formed first in the fourth stage, and after in the fifth stage, finally you will observe the front legs. And in the fifth stage, it will grow into an adult frog. So these are the different stages in the life cycle of frog. That is span and eggs of the frog, and the span, that means the eggs will give out a small fishes which are called tadpoles, which are looking like a fish, and these tadpoles will gradually grow into a big one which has hind legs first, and then we will observe the front legs, and gradually it grows into a adult frog. So these are the different stages in the life cycle of frog. So I read the fifth question. Describe parental care human beings. So read the answer. Human beings give the greatest love and care to their young ones. Young ones receive food, shelter and protection from their parents. So children, we have discussed about the parental care in the lesson. So what is the parental care? So every living organism will give birth to their young babies. And every parent, that is every mother, will take care about their young babies. So this take caring about their young babies is called parental care. So not only human beings, so we can also observe this parental care in animals and also in birds. So like birds and human beings can give the greatest love and care to their young ones. So every human being, that is every mother, will give a lot of love and protection to their young babies. And they will take care about their young babies until they get the capability of living on themselves. And also, we will give, that means the human beings will give food, shelter and protection to their young babies until they grow into adults, until they have the capability of getting their own food and until they have the capability of living themselves. So children, so the young ones also receives food, shelter and protection from the parents. So this is called parental care in the human beings, and we can also observe this parental care in the birds and also animals. So children, read the sixth question. What do you mean by molting? So read the answer. The nymph has a habit of shedding its old skin as it grows. So this shedding is known as molting. So children, we have discussed the different stages in the life cycle of cockroach. So how the cockroach lays eggs and how those eggs will be grown into a young ones and how those young ones become an adult cockroach. So generally, so every insect will have 3 stages in their life cycle. So in the cockroach also, there are 3 stages in its life cycle. That means first the cockroach lays eggs, and these eggs will be given out a smaller young ones which are called nymph. So nymph means, what is nymph? So it is a young, that is a small cockroach which will be given out by the eggs. That means the eggs will be given out a smaller one which is called a nymph, and the nymph is nothing but a larva of the cockroach. And this nymph has a habit of shedding its old skin. So as the days are passed by, so it will develop a new skin around its body and it will leave its old body, that is old skin. So this habit of leaving old skin from its body is called shedding. So this shedding is known as molting. So and after few days, so this nymph will become into, or this nymph will grow into a adult cockroach. So children, so these are the questions and answers in this first section. And note down these questions and answers in your notebook.